Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is time for us. We need to pour one out for a real one.
Okay.
Personally, I think the best and most effective and most honest and decent and kind and hardworking leader of the Western Hemisphere, Canadian PM Justin Trudeau. Mm-hmm. Certainly the world leader who has the most pictures of himself in black or brown face.
Sure.
Trudeau has fallen.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say Jimmy Carter.
Oh, no. No. He's rotting in hell. With every other American president. But yes, yep. Justin Trudeau's down. And also that now, but the Jimmy Carter thing does mean that now Joe Biden is the oldest current or former U.S. president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Living, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Are you sad to see Justin Trudeau go?
I mean, I don't know. I just heard about it, like, earlier today, and haven't really thought about it much.
Yeah. Because I know you're a big fan.
I don't think a lot of Canadians are sad to see him go.
Yeah, but you are.
Why am I?
Because you're a big fan of him. You're always telling me how much you love Justin Trudeau.
Oh. Well, then, yeah. Sucks, man. It's really tough. As a big Justin Trudeau guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I will say I like it because seemingly there's not real one thing that happened here that caused him to resign. I think it's literally just everybody in Canada just collectively decided, wait, we're kind of sick of this asshole.
Yeah, they were pissed about him. They didn't like him. Yeah. Nobody liked him.
Yeah. Yeah, he kept winning elections, but I mean, I think it's also like the Liberals are expected to get washed.
And I don't know if he wants to preside over that.
Well, I think it's more that like his party is like, yeah, you're fucking us, so you need to go. Because like he lost the confidence of his party.
Yeah.
But yeah. Although I have paid maybe 10% attention to this saga as it has gone on. I've kept trying to think, wait, so why is he resigning though? And it does seem like it's just like, yeah, I don't know, we're all set with him.
Yeah, I mean, even that though, it's like, I feel like there is no, I mean, I know, okay, there is a mechanism technically for that here, but like, we just don't have like the cultural precedent for it.
Yeah.
And so like, we just let like, if someone wins, it's like, you can just be president. You can just do it. Yeah. And there's no, like, we've talked about this before. There's no real, like, recourse for, like, a scenario like this where it's just like, dude, yeah, everybody, including, like, your own party has, like, decided you're not cutting it. You should step down. Like, that would be unthinkable here.
Yeah, I think part of it, too, is obviously the parliamentary system in Canada. You know what I mean? I think makes that more conducive to happening as opposed to our just, two-party system.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and it's
I mean, look at what it took just to get Joe Biden to drop out of the election.
I know, dude. He was like, it took forever. He was literally on death's door and was like, no.
And like looking at like a world historic blowout, like 400 plus electoral votes to Trump. Apparently, the internal polling for the Biden campaign. It took that and basically like everybody in this party just like
begging him.
Begging him basically. For him to finally just drop out, not even resign, which, I mean, probably should have done that as well.
He probably should have done that a while ago.
He probably should have never ran for president to begin with in 2020.
Yeah, it's insane that he won. I mean,
dude, like,
looking back, it's really crazy because, like, pretty much.
I mean, dude, you were called like a QAnon level conspiracy theorist for even suggesting that this man maybe isn't fully there. Mentally,
it was, and it literally, it's funny, like, yeah, like, people that we know were, like, looking at Evan and I, like, no, he is a stunning and brave example of, like, mental acuity and a get-it-done attitude, and it's like, okay, man, look, hey, like, we're not even necessarily knocking the job he's done, it's just, like, that's an old fella, like, he's acting, like, he
doesn't sound the way he sounded 5 years ago, man.
No, like, he's acting like an old... And 5 years ago, he was famous for putting his foot in his mouth. Like, he's always been a doofus. So, like,
but, like, it was clear that he was, suffering from some early dementia. And as early as, like, 2018. Look at how happy
he is now. All the pressure's off.
Dude, yeah, I do love that, like, he's spending these last few weeks in office just like handing out Presidential Medal of Freedom awards to like the people, or just like doing
dudes
like,
he thinks are sick.
Yeah, like Bono
Magic
and
Johnson,
shit.
dude.
He gave one to Hillary Clinton, like just
Yeah.
like they're just like rewarding like the people that he likes, and then also all of the suckers and losers that made this loss possible. Also, just like rewarding them. He's like bringing in all these like grifters.
Yeah, dude.
Like this awful person, Olivia Juliana, who's like a Gen Z fucking like hardline party apparatchik like influencer.
What's her name?
Olivia Juliana.
I gotta look this girl up. I just got a thing for Italian girls.
I don't think she's Italian.
Olivia Giannulli?
No. Juliana.
Oh, who's this lady? Some beauty YouTuber.
No, that's not.
Olivia Juliana. Different vibe than the last girl I looked up.
Yeah, I don't really, I don't want to.
You want to see the last girl? I know, we're not going to even talk about this girl, but this is the girl that I just looked up. We're not going to even talk about the one you meant to send.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be
we can
like...
gauge it by your reaction
nice.
to the one
Hell
that I
yeah,
looked
dude.
up.
Fuck
right?
yeah, dude.
Different type of gal.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the picture with like Olivia Juliana next to Biden is hysterical too, because I didn't realize this, she's like taller than him. That dude's like 6 feet tall.
Is he still 6 feet?
Yeah, he's probably got a little spinal compression going on. But anyway, yeah, so yep, let's pour one out for the last great man in the Western Hemisphere. What was that?
I didn't mean to. It started playing audio of that Olivia Juliana girl's voice. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. We've derailed.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
that's it, folks. We've gone.
Anyway, Justin Trudeau, you are today's Goose of the Week.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. What's yeah, yeah, the Canadian goose even. Your face is so red as you're doing that.
It's because I'm pushing real hard, dude.
I know, I can tell. Anyway, what's going on, folks? This is Left Unread coming back at ya for the first episode of 2025.
Absolutely.
I am Evan, joined as always by, as we mentioned earlier, Cameron. Hello, Cameron.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier. Hey, it's me.
Yep. We hope you all had a safe and happy and celebratory New Year. Me personally, I just laid on my couch eating Indian food on New Year's, so that was really good Indian food too.
Yeah, I worked a lot.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah,
I made a lot of money, but I was very tired.
Sorry about the lack of episodes here. We weren't really planning on just taking like the holidays off like this, but both Cam and I got like sick as a dog.
Yeah.
And Cam was just like working nonstop, so we kind of just ended up.
I feel like we usually do this. We just usually communicate it better. I don't think we planned it, like you said. It was just kind of like a necessity of life. Life comes at you fast, you know?
Yeah.
And
yep, that's right.
You got to pivot. You got to pivot, and you got to roll with it. I think we still put out 2 episodes in December, though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, like, whatever. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
We make the rules. You can't break rules that you make.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, let's be honest, I don't think anybody expected us to make it this far. Like, this is now we started planning this show in 2020. First episode dropped almost 4 years ago, in February of 2021.
Yeah.
You know, and we're rapidly approaching, you know, the 150 episode mark.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty great.
That's cool. Yep. No, this is episode 145, and it is actually, we are kind of doing like a like sort of director's cut / sequel of one of our first episodes. That's right. Episode 10. Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah, 135 episodes ago, folks.
Yep, which was about this was the Matt Gaetz saga. This
was
when
2021.
Yeah, it was April 2021. Yeah. So back then we talked about Matt Gaetz because that's when all of the crazy stuff about him started coming out, and we did an episode about that. And obviously, it's very funny. Like as I was like going back in time and like researching this and reading these old articles again and stuff like that, it was like people were speculating that he would like resign from Congress.
Yeah,
homeboy made it.
Yeah, he did.
Like nearly 4 more years after that. Like he made it about 3.5 more years after that, a little bit more than that. Before he finally resigned. So we're talking Matt Gaetz, the former congressman from Florida. And so we're gonna kind of go back over the events that happened back in 2021, like the information that came out then, and sort of supplement it with now that the Health Ethics Committee report onto Matt Gaetz' behavior has come out. We'll also talk about that.
Dude, I was just remembering in that episode we had a clip of like when he and he was like wrestling his cousin, quote unquote, but he was like holding him
that's
down.
not Matt Gaetz. That was
that was a
Madison
guy.
Cawthorn.
That was Madison Cawthorn. That's right.
Yeah. And he was humping his face, yeah.
Yeah.
Another freak show of a Republican lawmaker.
What was he saying in that video? Oh my god, he was chanting something.
Yeah.
Madison Cawthorn, yeah, he was a freak.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, a lot of freaks and perverts and weirdos in politics in general, but the Republican House is really just filled with reprobates.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. That's neither here nor there, because obviously that wasn't who we were talking about.
Yep. Yeah. So folks, I've been promising to return to the Matt Gaetz saga, and so now that the holidays are over and the House Ethics Committee report on his various alleged perversions is out, I would like to step back into the sordid world of Matt Gaetz. So we discussed Matt Gaetz years ago back in episode 10 of this podcast, and it was titled Enemy at the Gates. I'm going to go back over a lot or even all of the information from that episode. Are you still looking for the video?
No.
Oh. So I'm going to go back over a lot or even all of the information from that episode. So no real need to worry about listening to that episode before this one. So although as listeners of the fine Left Unread podcast, I'm sure some or even a good deal of this information is known to you. And if you are a longtime listener, thank you, and sit back and enjoy the recap. So Matthew Lewis Gaetz II is the scion of a prominent Florida Republican family, and until Trump's re-election in November of 2024, he was the House representative from Florida's 1st congressional district from 2017 to 2024. Mm-hmm. And this covers the Western Panhandle, which is a land forsaken by God and his providence.
Yeah, it's not a good place, folks.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a third world country inside our country. Although I guess we don't really love using that terminology because the third world didn't used to be a derogatory term.
No, it did not used to be a derogatory term. But yeah, I mean, I've spent not that long, but I have spent some time in the Western Panhandle. I mean, so I will just say, yeah, I would say Florida is probably the state I have spent like the 4th most amount of time in, after Massachusetts, like Rhode Island, and probably New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I've got family in Florida. My family used to travel to Florida a lot when I was a kid. So I've spent a lot of time there. The Panhandle is a fucked up place, folks. I apologize to any of our listeners who may live there. Actually, I probably don't, because you probably know that.
Yeah, they probably agree.
Like, yeah,
I don't
like Florida.
That there's anybody who's really willing to argue that the Florida Panhandle rocks. Not anybody who listens to this show.
Yeah, I've been to most parts of Florida, at least for some small amount of time, and it is it's a fucked up place, folks. But anyway, like driving through there, you really can just see that God has overlooked this terrible, terrible region. But anyway, so Matt Gaetz' father is Don Gaetz, who himself is from a prominent North Dakota Republican family. Don's father, Jerry Gaetz, is a former mayor of Rugby, North Dakota. And he was also a state legislator that once ran for lieutenant governor of North Dakota in 1964. Jerry himself died of a heart attack while giving a speech at the North Dakota Republican Party convention. He finished his speech, he walked into the crowd, and suffered a heart attack at the age of 49.
Dang, 49?
And that was all she wrote. So Don Gaetz, again, this is Matt Gaetz' father, Don Gaetz, was 16 years old and had played hooky from school to watch his father die on TV of a heart attack.
Damn, dude. He looks like a guy who would have a heart attack, though.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I saw him, yeah.
Yeah,
he looks like a guy who would die of a heart attack.
There was hypertension going on there. He was white knuckling the fucking reins on
that was a motherfucker who was most certainly on the stakes.
He was drinking and smoking and eating red meat, brother. He had the holy trinity of ways to die before 50 going.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe he was great and used to jog. Doesn't look like a jogger.
No, that motherfucker.
And to be fair, neither do I. I mean, 49 is looming over me like the Grim Reaper with his scythe. Okay, I'm fully aware that I'm talking shit about a man who's skinnier than I am.
Yeah, but no. So nearly 40 years later, Don Gaetz himself would join the Florida State Senate, and he has served there in 9 consecutive years. His first stint was from 2006 to 2016, including a short stint as Senate President from 2012 to 2014. And then again, he came back in 2024, so he's back.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. Gaetz Gate just fucking keeps getting better.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Don Gaetz is a piece of shit. I'm just gonna say this. I have no problem saying this right now. This dude made his money in healthcare, particularly the for-profit hospice care industry. So quite literally, yes. He and also some education before that. He's made his money in like privatizing education and whatnot. But so he made his money in healthcare and helping the for-profit hospice care industry, literally profiting off of somebody dying, like their long sort of their long crawl to death. Mm-hmm. So he is an utter and complete piece of shit. The biggest chunk of his net worth currently is from real estate investments. Like he's got like all of his money like tied up in like investments, real estate. And this is according to Forbes from Don's disclosure. He had founded a company that he sold for $400 million about 20 years ago. And his part of the sale netted him about $25 million. Certainly worth at least in the tens of millions as a family. They have money in various non-real estate investments and holdings, as well as a bunch of real estate throughout Florida and whatnot. They're wealthy folks. And it's also worth mentioning that Don Gaetz owns the house that the film The Truman Show was filmed in, and this is the house that Matt Gaetz grew up in. So, yep, he grew up in The Truman Show house.
There you go.
Yep. All right, so let's just kind of lay out what type of man we're dealing with here with Matt Gaetz. All right.
Yeah, dude.
So Matt Gaetz initially ran for the special election to the Florida State House in 2010. He was then elected to the U.S. House in 2017, and it is from this election that a purported opposition report came about from a different Republican campaign for the seat. So Gaetz attended Florida State University. That's in
FSU,
Gainesville,
dude.
Florida.
Fuck shit up, baby.
Yep. Right, that's the one in Gainesville. Yeah, that's Florida. Florida State. Oh no, that's not. Florida State University is the Seminoles, not the Gators.
Florida State Gators. Is the Seminoles.
Yeah.
UF,
yeah, University of Florida. That's the one that's in
the
Gainesville.
Florida Gators, yeah.
Yeah. Tim Tebow. But yeah, so he attended FSU as an undergraduate, and he graduated in 2003. He also has his Juris Doctor. I can't even imagine how terrible he was in grad school for getting his law degree, but he got that somewhere else. But yeah, FSU is a fucking party school, you know what I mean? And that's where he went. And by all accounts, he fucking liked to party.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So now, this is from a Twitter user at Eve the Red, who had an alleged Oppo report from a fellow Republican campaign for the same seat as him. So I was first alerted to this report from the Twitter user at Gumby for Christ, who potentially corroborates some details by finding a man who matches the alleged victim. So this opposition report. It was leaked. It's supposed to be quite legit.
Okay.
And it's from a separate Republican campaign.
Okay.
So one of his Republican opponents.
Sure.
So in this report,
And you found all this on X, the Everything app, formerly Twitter?
Formerly known as Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
So in this report, also I did maybe corroborate some of this with somebody that I know who used to work in Washington, and I mean they didn't really corroborate, but they were like, yeah, this definitely sounds pretty legit. Okay. So in this report, Matt Gaetz allegedly was involved in the death of another man, and had to use his father's connections to help clean up the crime scene. According to the Opera report, so again, I'm not claiming to know personally the details, nor am I alleging. I'm just reporting on the details of this Opera report. Matt Gaetz was known to engage in homosexual escapades with some frequency at FSU, and also in the Florida House. According to, quote, very high-level sources in the Florida Republican Party, Gaetz in 2002 was involved in an accidental death of a house guest as off-campus residence in Tallahassee while a senior. He shared the residence with 3 other male students. A 29-year-old black male guest was playing a game of autoerotic asphyxiation with Gaetz, which involved cocaine.
A 29-year-old?
Yeah. I can send you this stuff after this. But, so a 29-year-old black male guest was playing a game of autoerotic asphyxiation with Gaetz, which involved cocaine, and putting a plastic bag over the other man's head while he masturbated. Gaetz was the last person seen leaving the room of the decedent, and the decedent's body and bed area had semen and cocaine residue. Gaetz then called his father Don for help, and they had the body illegally transported from Tallahassee to Jacksonville without notifying authorities. So the obituary for the man stated, so this is one that another person found. The obituary for the man stated he had died in Jacksonville. Oh, no, sorry. So this is still in the Opera report, is that the obituary for the man stated he had died in Jacksonville. He was married and living in Jacksonville before his death, was born in Gainesville, and he graduated from FSU in 1998. There are significant potential eyewitnesses, which are like named.
So this was just some older 30-year-old dude who was like, yeah, I'd love to come back to the fucking frat house and like...
I mean, that's what Matt Gaetz does.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess he learned from the best.
Matt Gaetz still does that in his 40s.
Yeah.
Like, he still parties at FSU bars and shit. But anyway, yeah, so there are significant potential eyewitnesses, according to the report, which they named them as well in the report.
Yeah.
Now, so again, at Gumby for Christ potentially found the obituary for the man in this report. I won't list his name since it's just speculation. But it is in the tweet. So there is an obituary for a 29-year-old black man who died in Jacksonville in December 2002, who was born in Gainesville, and who graduated from FSU in 1998.
Interesting.
So matches all of the details there. So the Opera report lists that Gaetz was also involved in like gay sex rings at FSU and also in his hometown. Mm-hmm. And there is also the strange account of a man named Nestor Galban, which is a story that entered Twitter infamy back in 2020. Familiar. Yeah, Nestor, his quote-unquote son, Nestor. So this was... Matt Gaetz himself tweeted this. Seemingly apropos of nothing, on June 18th, 2020, Gaetz tweeted, with a picture accompanying of Gaetz and this boy, for all those wondering... Like, this is just how it starts, man. For all those wondering, this is my son Nestor. We share no blood, but he is my life. He came from Cuba, legally of course, 6 years ago and lives with me in Florida. I'm so proud of him, and raising him has been the best, most rewarding thing I've done in my life. Nestor turned 19 a few days ago and will be off to university. He arrived here at 12. As you can imagine, I was triggered when, to make an absurd debate point, a fellow congressman diminished the contributions of Republicans because we don't raise non-white kids. Like, just out of nowhere, he tweets this. And everybody's like, who was wondering? And what the fuck are you talking about?
Who's Nestor?
Yeah. Like,
wait,
so
what?
Gaetz...
You've just been raising this boy?
So Gaetz then claims that they are a, quote, modern family that is, quote, defined by our love for each other, not by any paperwork. Like, Dude, what
So
the
he's
fuck,
not
man?
his legal adopted son.
No, he's not.
He
He's
just
like
came into possession of a 12-year-old
of a
Cuban
boy. Yeah, of a Cuban boy.
He just got a boy, dude.
Yeah. Are you enjoying your new single boy?
What if I told you we could bring him back? Only better. Dude, hello, I'm Gorb.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, fucking. So Nestor. I mean, like, dude. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what to make of the Nestor story, man. Is he his boy toy? Are they fucking and sucking?
Okay, maybe, of course.
Yeah.
Like, definitely maybe, right? But
Did Gaetz buy him at a meat auction? Like, who knows?
the thing about it is this, right? It's like all the Michael Jackson stuff, right? And for the record,
Yeah.
I think Michael Jackson was fucking those kids, right? Like, I
Yeah.
think he was guilty as sin. But even assuming that like none of that is true,
Yeah.
the stuff that he admitted to is
It's
so
still
fucking
fucking
weird that it's like there's no way. It's not like okay, you know?
Yeah.
Even assuming that no like sex happened. Like,
Yeah.
MJ was like,
Even
I
the
would have
most,
kids over
even
and sleep with them,
the
like,
kindest interpretation of events to
Yeah.
him. It's like you're still a fucking.
I feel
weirdo.
the same way about this. It's like, okay, we don't even have to speculate because you know your mind's gonna go there anyway. But it's like
Yeah.
the the cleanest version of events here is still
Is that
incredibly
he came into
bizarre.
possession? Is that he came into possession of a boy?
He came into a boy. I recently came into a boy, dude.
And he is now my life.
He is now my life, and it's defined by love, not paperwork. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fucking Nestor.
Dude,
What
yeah.
secrets are there to be plumbed from your
Don't worry,
depths?
Nestor comes back up in the story. Oh.
Oh, that I
Yeah.
could pick Nestor's sweet nubile brain.
Yeah. The sweet fruit of his loins.
Father, I have recently come into a boy.
Meet Nestor.
Meet your grandson, your grandboy.
Yeah, his
Nestor.
grand boy.
Hey, track, what up? Drive by those and that's so. Tell ya hold on, come over. Coming straight off that motor. Sipping on another sober. Big backwoods of that OG. We smoking them back to back. Molly looking like shit. So ya know that I'm dipping. I see my jeans by the stick. And my shoes cost about half of that. Let's not talk about the shirt. We can't even pronounce that. Got on nigga and my theory is low. My drop on the quick. Put that money in motion. So bitch, we
Anyway, yeah. So fucking fucking. I don't know, man.
All right. Okay.
Nestor will return. So. All right. So now we've got this little backstory here. About
Matt's a weird guy.
Yeah,
Weird family.
Autoerotic asphyxiation, death, jack off circles.
Alleged.
Jack off circles.
Which, again, whomst amongst us.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's transport ourselves back to an age foregone, spring of 2021. Folks, the Trump era is mercifully at an end. He's gone. The light at the end of the tunnel for COVID-19 pandemic seems to be visible. Mm-hmm. Mass vaccinations are rolling out. The Biden administration is in full swing. Bidenomics is here, and he has restored democracy. Capital R, capital D. Trump attempted a coup just 3 months earlier, but was rebuffed by our hallowed and sacred institutions. He's done. Trump is over. Never coming back. The United States is back on track. Surely 2025 must be a utopia. No? No?
I just realized it's January 6th today, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Happy J6.
The Democratic January 6th did not take place.
No.
I was waiting.
J6.
I was waiting.
Yep. I was really hoping for a land back as they took land acknowledgement.
That was one of the big jokes I kept saying. Was like we would do like a
land acknowledgement, or there'd be some kind of land back thing, or it's like, I don't know. I don't want to turn it into a holiday. Yeah. Yeah. I will just say, I'll say, I question the upper body strength of a lot of the liberals who would do it, to be able to climb the walls like our husky lads that did 4 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
Yeah. Anyways, at the end of the first Trump admin, because folks, unfortunately, round 2 is just weeks away. At the end of the first Trump admin, there were reports that Matt Gaetz had been seeking a pardon by the outgoing administration. Gaetz was always one of Trump's staunchest supporters, and they came into power at the same time. Gaetz, he was elected in 2016, just like Trump. Yep, and so he was always one of his staunchest supporters, and reports of investigation against Gaetz had come out. The investigation into Gaetz started in the last few months of the first Trump admin, and according to CNN, he had sought a preemptive pardon before any charges had been announced. The president's lawyers advised against any of these pardons for Trump or his inner circle, according to reports, because it would require naming specific crimes. You know what I mean? Like, he hadn't been charged yet. So he would just have to say, hey, if Matt Gaetz had sex with any children, pardoning for
anything that has occurred or not occurred or allegedly occurred up until this point is fine.
You have to name the specific crime. Like, you can't just say whatever he's done is okay. No, you'd have to say, he engaged in potential sex trafficking of underage children. So, don't really want that out there.
Right.
Anyway, Trump denies that a request took place.
Dude, imagine asking for a pardon before you've been charged with an offense, dude.
You're like, hey, I know they're going to charge my ass.
That's such a hysterical thing to do. Like,
for such a gnarly crime,
it's like that scene in True Romance when the bugged up dude starts crying. He's like, I wish someone would just come and take me away. and then he fucking blows it. Or he doesn't blow it, but he does later.
Yeah. Yeah, no, especially for such a gnarly crime as fucking like sex trafficking of a minor.
You wanna hang on to that lie for as long as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, unless here's the thing. What you should do is turn yourself in if you're a fucking freak like that, and do your fucking time. But if you're a fucking freak and you want to get away with it, lie longer.
Yeah. Yeah, do not ask for preemptively to be basically charged with the crime.
Listen,
like, you're basically charging yourself.
I'm gonna need
Hell yeah, I did that fucking gross ass shit. Yeah. Anyway, so Trump denies that a request took place, and Gaetz' spokesperson claimed the requests were just throwaway public statements.
Yeah, he just says stuff. He's
he's just talking. He's a yapper. You know
that's just kooky Matt, dude.
Yeah.
He just says things.
Yeah. Now, at the time, Matt Gaetz denied the allegations, and he claimed that they were a part of some harebrained extortion plot against him and his well-connected family.
That's right.
Yeah. he famously went on Tucker Carlson, who at the time was still on primetime Fox. So many things have happened.
I know, dude. This feels like it was so long ago.
Dude, this is like a psychedelic experience going through some of this shit.
I was reading your notes when you sent them to me. I was reading them this morning on the John. Yeah. And I was like, okay, and I was going to put on the episode, episode 10 on my drive-in, but I was like, nah, fuck it, I'll go in blind, because, like, it feels so long ago, like, so much has changed. Bonkers. I forgot about the claims of extortion.
Oh, dude, yeah, the crazy fucking story. So yeah, Tucker Carlson still had a primetime Fox show. Matt Gaetz went on it, and he gave some manic, rambling story, which I believe we put the clip in the last episode. Story about a dinner with Tucker, an alleged underage prostitute, who Gaetz denies was such. And Tucker is just like sitting there like consummate professional, fucking stone-faced, nothing going on his face, as this fucking idiot is trying to implicate him. Like, and then once Gaetz stops talking, Tucker is just like quickly like, I do not remember this date, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he knows how to fucking handle his shit, dude.
And you could tell he's just like, this little fucking shit.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's tried to tie me into his underage prostitute fucking story. But,
like, yeah, I was there. Yeah, I fucked that kid.
Yeah. Wasn't a kid.
Fucking show, Matt.
Yeah. But anyway, so that happens, and now it did come back out, it came out back in 2021 that the allegations against Gaetz were part of a broader investigation, not stemming from this extortion, but rather from a broader investigation into former Florida politician Joel Greenberg, who was indicted in the summer of 2020 for a litany of charges. I mean, so many charges and so many different crimes, which included sex trafficking of a child and paying for sex from underage girls. These charges are further elucidated in the now released House Ethics Committee investigation into Matt Gaetz. So now let's recap what we went over in the original Enemy at the Gates episode, and let's dive into the new details. So first, we have to get into the Gaetz identity. This fucking insane story. Now, what I'm going to tell, there are more threads to pull on than I even get into in here. Like, we're getting into, like, Russian oligarchs and, like, assassination attempts and shit like that. Like, there's a lot of threads to pull on, but it's not really the crux of the story. I think I talk about it again. Thank you, Cameron. Cameron just typed a nice little message for me in the notes. Thanks, buddy. But yeah, so there's like a lot of threads to pull on in this. But I will recount some of the story, not all of it, as it was told in 2021. Also, I apologize if my usage of tense kind of slips between present and past here. I'm working off of what I had written back then, but I'm also supplanting it with new information that has come out since, so just be kind to me here. Thank you. Now, Gaetz says text message screenshots and email in the typed document support his claims that this investigation into his relationship with a 17-year-old is all tied up in an extortion scheme against him.
They want to tear his family with Nestor apart.
Yeah, they're trying to tear Matt and Nestor.
They don't think a man and a strange boy can be a family, dude.
Yeah. Now, Gaetz claims... Nestor. We love Nestor.
We're such a pro Nestor podcast, dude.
We hate Matt Gaetz, but we love Nestor.
I feel for Nestor, dude.
Dude. This boy got like scooped up by.
And I'm telling you, also, thinking I gotta get me a boy. You mean to tell me you can just get a boy?
Yep. Come upon a boy.
You can just stumble upon a boy, poor and tired and in need of care and love.
Yeah. A street boy.
I could nurture a boy.
Yeah.
A boy from a rough life.
Yeah. Now, so Gaetz claims his being investigated is totally false, and that rather his lawyers told him he was not a target of an investigation but a subject. Obviously, and who could have seen this coming, but we can now confidently state this was total bullshit. Shocking, I know. So according to Gaetz, his family was being extorted for $25 million, and the people pushing the stories about an investigation into his relationships with women are the ones extorting him and are also being investigated by the FBI.
Right.
Now, Gaetz claims that his documents allege a scheme that revolves around attempts by former Air Force intelligence officer Bob Kent and the attorney David McGee of Beggs and Lane, the law firm Beggs and Lane, who is a former federal prosecutor, to free the ex-DEA, ex-FBI agent turned private investigator / CIA contractor Robert Levinson from imprisonment in Iran. Mm-hmm. And, like, honestly, going back through all this information is kind of breaking my brain due to, like, everything that's come out about Gaetz since, and also the revelations that, yeah, Gaetz is allegedly, an inveterate pedophile and abuser, allegedly, according to the Ethics Committee report. Also, like, he also just threw out this insane story to try and muddy the waters, but, like, the story is also kind of true.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking, like, crazy. Like, so this whole scheme was called fucking Project Homecoming. And Don Gaetz first received text from Bob Kent, the former Air Force intelligence agent. Now, I believe, I didn't re-listen to the original episode. I believe in that episode I read out the texts, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, the texts were exclusively given to the Washington Examiner, which now hides them behind a paywall, and I think I just read them from the article in the previous episode, but now I can't access them. But the texts are fucking crazy. So just, I guess, if you really want to hear them, you can either sign up for the Washington Examiner or listen to the previous episode. But it's fine. It's not a big deal. Like, it's not like super necessary.
Okay.
The texts are just, like, really, like, spooky.
Got it.
But anyway, but yeah, so I believe I read them out in the previous episode. I'm not exactly sure. But regardless, Don Gaetz would eventually meet with these people, including a one Stephen Alford, who was a Florida like real estate developer and also like inveterate fraudster who had just gotten out of prison for like fraud. Like, this dude was just like committing fraud left and right, defrauding the government, like the military, stuff like that. Anyway, so the three people involved are this fraudster and real estate agent Stephen Alford, the attorney David McGee, who is also the personal attorney of the Levinson family, I believe. Okay. And then the former Air Force intelligence officer Bob Kent. So they're trying to free this guy Robert Levinson from imprisonment in Iran. So Don Gaetz would meet with Stephen Alford, the Florida developer, and he would wear a wire at some of the meetings, allegedly at the request of the FBI. And for what it's worth, Alford got fucking charged with extortion like a few months later after these meetings. So he did get charged with extorting the Gaetz family here. Now, Robert Levinson disappeared in Iran in March of 2007, and Kent had a secret mission in December 2018 to rescue him, but was thwarted by the federal government. So at least as recently as 2024, Levinson is allegedly still missing in Iran, and the government in Tehran will not acknowledge his detainment, nor will they acknowledge if he is alive or dead. U.S. intelligence...
He's dead, bro.
Oh, yeah, we're about to get into it. U.S. intelligence has, at least openly, operated under the assumption that he is dead. The basis for this is the length of his disappearance, now almost 20 years, his being a diabetic, his age, which now he would be well into his 70s. Like, this was like an older... Like, this guy was, like, in his, like, mid to late 50s when he disappeared.
He was a cold warrior, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, he was good at what he did. Yeah. But also a weird choice for this spook mission, which we'll get into. But Donald Trump himself told the family of Rob Levinson that he was presumed dead at this point. And the family also operates under this assumption. So, like, the family's like, no, he's dead. Like... And the U.S. government's like, yeah, he's dead. And yet this Project
Homecoming...
And
Iran is like, listen, we're not going to comment on that guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this fucking spook and his fraudster and lawyer friend are like, Project Homecoming.
Yeah, we gotta go get him, dude.
So is...
we gotta fucking go get Bob fucking Levinson, dude. Nobody left behind.
Yeah, hitting some of that Florida sugar, yeah.
Absolutely, dude. These sound like some yacked up freaks.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah. So this Project Homecoming, yeah, I mean, fucking Bob Kent is, like, allegedly, like, pretty jacked, and so is his wife. But, like, there's, like, torqued up.
Normal.
Yeah. But anyway, so this Project Homecoming is some kind of plot separate from the family, and it also stinks because the people behind it claim that they can get Matt Gaetz a pardon and have been told so by President Biden, but they also don't want the government to be involved, and the government doesn't want to get involved. All of it's very fishy. Now, according to a Newsweek article from a few years ago, plans were well in motion to rescue Levinson from Iran with the payoff cash of $250,000 secured by Bob Kent, who would then board a plane from New York to the Middle East. Levinson, who is, so Levinson's like background, he's an ex-DEA, then an ex-FBI agent. In the FBI, he basically was like an expert on like Russian organized crime, like the Russian mob. But after leaving the FBI, he had become a private investigator, but also a contractor with the CIA, and would like investigate, like at least was like an investigator into like money laundering, like rings and whatnot. But again, so this guy's like an expert on like Russian organized crime, but he doesn't speak Farsi. He's also like an older Jewish man, which I feel like that's not like maybe the best choice for like a clandestine mission into Iran, which like the Iranian government would be like, oh, an older Jewish man from America, this dude's probably Mossad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and also like doesn't speak Farsi, but he was sent on this like clandestine mission.
I think it's Farsi.
Farsi, yeah, Farsi, it's fine. But
okay.
So he goes, like, he would be a weird choice for this clandestine mission. And again, he was like a Russian guy. So he goes to Iran in 2007 with the federal government claiming they had no idea why he went there. He was captured and has only been seen twice since. Once in a hostage video in 2010 that his family received from unknown intermediaries, then in photos 3 years later, showing him as now 63 years old and looking haggard while begging for help. In 2013, it was revealed through the AP and other outlets that he had gone to Kish Island as an off-the-book CIA mission to probe high-level Iranian money laundering. So total speculation on my part. I'm assuming this is some kind of limited hangout. I'm not entirely certain what Levinson was doing in Iran, but I wouldn't be surprised if the whole money laundering thing is also some kind of cover story. Mm-hmm. There was, like... So it was reported that he had a weak cover story where he was investigating cigarette counterfeiting in Iran for British American tobacco, for the British American and tobacco, and that this whole cover story was created so that he could meet with Dawood Salahuddin, who is a U.S.-born fugitive and assassin, and they were trying to turn him into an informant. It was also reported that this off-the-books mission was potentially part of some internecine spook battle in the CIA, and that the more espionage-focused wing of the agency was out of the loop here, and that these were analysts going behind the espionage wing of the CIA's back and, like, getting this contractor to go on an espionage mission.
Right.
Which, again, I mean, it makes sense. Like, again, this guy doesn't speak the fucking language, and, like, just in general, seems like a weird choice for this. But, yeah, so the analysts of the CIA had hired this guy behind the backs of the spies, and had, like, sent him there on this mission to try to turn Dawood Salahuddin into an informant. So, and like I said, there's more threads to go down with, like, Dawood Salahuddin and whatnot, but, you know, that's kind of, like, the basis here. Mm-hmm. So, to the Levinson family, they believed his capture was an embarrassment to the U.S. government, again, you know, leading to their denials of his capture. For their part, the CIA and the FBI claimed they tried to downplay his association with the CIA because it may hurt his chances at rescue. Sure, whatever. But whatever, so the family put their own plan into motion. So the family tried for years to rescue Levinson. Kent was the latest in a long line of people who tried to rescue Levinson, including an Iranian assassin, retired detective with CIA connections, a former FBI agent, a former federal prosecutor, a truck driver from Philly, and fucking Russian mobsters. Like they had, like, a bunch of plots to try to rescue this dude. So CIA-connected money men had secured a proof-of-life package for $100,000, which included fingerprints, a blood sample, and what was claimed to be a recent 41-second clip of the now elderly Levinson. Another $150,000 was needed for the rescue, but as Kent got ready to leave for the airport, federal agents refused to let him leave for Iran due to the Trump administration's sanctions. The State Department and or FBI threatened the sponsors, which Levinson's attorney, David McGee, claimed was part of a long pattern of the federal government's in interfering in any effort to rescue the agent. So apparently Kent had been working for corporate clients in the Middle East for several years and was trying to get a government intelligence contract. The FBI was skeptical of his sources and sarcastically told him, to find Levinson. He returned 2 months later claiming he could obtain proof of life and perhaps more. The FBI took the information but claimed actually arranging the proof of life package would be, quote, incredibly complex. So then the CIA group from Northern Virginia had volunteered to finance this mission, although others before had offered, which includes the Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska. So later, Russian mobster Semyon Mogilovich would offer to fund a rescue. Levinson himself had been tracking Mogilovich for years, a man often claimed to be one of the most dangerous criminals in the world. Yeah, like I said, this story fucking stinks. Like, there's just so much shit.
So much going on, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so many threads to pull. Also, I believe Oleg Deripaska was the guy who funded the Steele dossier, so we got some Russia Gate in this, too. Over the following years, though, more people would offer to put up the money, and occasionally the Bureau's mood would be more cooperative before again crumbling away. A Philly truck driver and former Marine named Walton Martin became obsessed with Iran early in life during the 79 to 81 hostage crisis, and he launched a one-man project to aid Iranian defectors and refugees in Turkey. He kept a constant stream of intelligence coming in from Iran, which included the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's operations and also reportedly Levinson's whereabouts. The FBI would develop a close relationship with Martin as he received intel. Martin's FBI handlers refused to allow their personal information and names to get out for fear of their safety, but they said there was definite buzz in the government about finding Levinson. Martin would eventually begin working with Joseph O'Brien, a former FBI agent who led the investigation in the 90s into Paul Castellano, head of the Gambino crime family. This group was told to get lost by the Bureau. Eventually, Martin would be subpoenaed to relinquish all information he had to the Justice Department on Levinson. Some of the documents were, quote, obvious forgeries, according to a Newsweek article. O'Brien continued working on the case now with an unnamed detective who had worked with the CIA and FBI in the past. This man met in 2018 with Abulfazl Bahram Nahidian, a radical imam from Virginia. I just straight up do not even know how to say that. Abulfazl, yeah.
Abulfazl Bahram Nahidian.
Yeah. Abulfazl Bahram Nahidian, a radical imam from Virginia who has close contacts to Iran. This imam has a contact named Dawood Salahuddin, who carried out an assassination of an anti-regime activist in Maryland in 1980.
Okay.
Decades later, he was available as a source for journalists on the regime. Salahuddin is the man Levinson flew to Kish Island in 2007 to meet with to attempt to turn into an informant in Iran. Salahuddin claims to have no knowledge about the case. He says he was hustled by Iranian agents from the hotel meeting and claims to have suffered repercussions for this meeting. Like, basically the second fucking Levinson hits Kish Island, he's picked up.
Yeah.
This was not
they were
a
expecting
success.
him.
Yeah. In 2020, Levinson was proclaimed dead by his family and the U.S. government, with no definite details other than it happened before the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, like, this dude, like, at that point, he had been gone for about 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, he's diabetic, an old man. Probably didn't make it. So beginning on March 9th of 2024, the U.S. would now mark that day, March 9th, as National Hostage and Wrongful Detainee Day to honor Bob Levinson and all other, quote, unjustly held abroad prisoners. There is still a $5 million reward for information leading directly to the location, recovery, and return of Levinson.
I promise, I swear. Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Miley Percocet, rep the set, gotta rep the set, chase a chick, never chase a bitch, mask on, fuck it, mask on, fuck it, mask on, Percocet, Miley Percocet, chase a chick, never chase a bitch, 2 cups, toast up with the gang, from food stamps to a whole nother domain, out the bottle, I'm a living proof, ain't a liability. Big firm. Hit the gas. Boosting my adrenaline. Big firm. Percocet. Yeah. Miley Percocet. Big firm. Percocet. Yeah. Miley Percocet. Big firm. Represent. Yeah. Gotta represent. Gang, gang. Chase a chick. Yeah. Never chase a bitch. Big firm. Mask on. Yeah. Fucking mask off. Big firm. Mask on. Yeah. Fucking mask off. Big firm. Percocet. Yeah. Miley Percocet. Big firm. Chase a chick. Yeah. Never chase a bitch. Chase no bitches. Photo maybe. I drive anything. Yeah. Buy my rings. Yeah. Make them go insane. Yeah. My guillotine, draping melazine, taking beams, yeah. Go to those extremes, let's go. Parliament, calamari wins, yeah. Parlay in Vegas, we was in attendance, let's go. Before the business, yeah. Theodore lenses, more prescriptions, yeah. Focus on the mission, put my intermission, hold on. Never take a break, we can't pull on. Switch states, touchdown foreign place, ain't no way, ain't no fucking way. No, we come to play. We didn't come to play. No, rob the bank. We gon' rob the game. Again, they gang, we gang. But they are not the same. We bang. Percocet, yeah. Miley Percocet, big firm. Percocet, yeah. Miley Percocet, big firm. Represent, yeah. Gotta represent. Gang, gang. Chase a chick, never chase a bitch. Big firm. Mask on, yeah. Fucking mask off. Big firm. Mask on, yeah. Fucking mask off. Big firm. Percocet, yeah. Miley Percocet, big firm. Chase a chick, yeah. Never chase a bitch. Big firm. Mask on, fucking mask on. Mask on, fucking mask on. Mask on, fucking mask on. Gas gone, never nod on.
So back to Gaetz. Gaetz says
yeah,
that
this is an episode about Matt Gaetz, folks.
Yeah, yeah. So Gaetz says that Kent claims in his correspondences with Matt Gaetz' father, former Florida State Senate President Don Gaetz, that Levinson is still alive and that he is in possession of proof-of-life videos. This is in 2021. In these claims, if the Gaetz family pays $25 million for a rescue operation, Matt Gaetz would get media credit for making it happen and would be pardoned by President Biden for, quote, unnamed legal issues. So I would like to point out that by all accounts, the Gaetz family may only be worth like a little bit more than $25 million. Like they might only be worth like, I don't know, like $50 million, something like that. So like this would be a big hefty part of their fortune. Although it seems like the $25 million was just an early estimate and that maybe in their meetings, Don Gaetz bargained them way down from there. But anyway, so the rescue document that Gaetz' claim they received is 3 pages long and called Project Homecoming, like I said. This document, again, printed out and handed to the Gaetzes, according to them, says in it that the money should be deposited into the trust account of Beggs and Land, naming David McGee. This document also says Gaetz is under investigation by the FBI for various public corruption and integrity issues, that's one way to put it, including photos depicting Gaetz in an orgy with underage prostitutes. This document also claims that upon receipt of payment and release of Levinson, the team that delivers Levinson to the president shall advocate for a pardon or instruct the Justice Department to terminate the investigation. This document also says the White House has some knowledge of the plan and that they have kind of given some assurances that should this be successful, Gaetz will be pardoned or a pardon will be considered. So like I said, Gaetz, he goes into that bizarre interview on Tucker Carlson, said all of this information on air, and prompted the reports to be denied by the law firm, claiming Gaetz is making up the story to distract from his apparent imminent indictment for sex trafficking minors. However, an apparent Justice Department email chain seems to confirm the extortion in a chain involving U.S. Attorney David Goldberg, or at least an investigation of the potential extortion is underway. Both the DOJ and the FBI had declined to comment on the email or any investigation of extortion. Obviously, like I said, now we know Alfred got arrested for this. Gaetz says his father he had worn a wire with the case and that he suspects a leak to the New York Times, which is when he just decided to come out with all of this about Gaetz' trafficking was timed to thwart the extortion investigation. Yep. So like I said, that's not even the whole story. There's other threads to pull, but we're talking about Matt Gaetz here, folks. So, let's get into his friend, Joel Greenberg, who's just a small-town pedophile. So yeah, since the airing of the first Matt Gaetz episode, Joel Greenberg has pleaded guilty to a number and wide array of crimes. So we don't have to use a legend here. He pled guilty. These include underage sex trafficking, wire fraud, stalking, identity theft, producing a fake ID card, and conspiring to defraud the U.S. government. Excellent. He has been in jail since early 2021 and was sentenced to 11 years in prison in 2022. So District Judge Gregory Presnell claimed, quote, "I have never seen a defendant who has committed so many different types of crimes in such a relatively short period." He was also like a prolific snitch, apparently, according to the judge, and the plea deal involved him cooperating with the investigation into Gaetz and others dating back to 2020. This cooperation allegedly involves an illicit child sex trafficking ring. So, yeah, I mean, and Joel Greenberg, he seems like the type of guy that the second he gets arrested, he's singing. For real, though, he gets into office as an anti-corruption candidate and then just, like, immediately engages in nonstop scams and crimes and just rips off the taxpayers of Florida in, like, egregious and myriad ways. Yeah. Fucking immediately. Yeah. Like, dude, the shit this guy gets down to. Oh, dude, and he's just fucking every possible way that he could.
If he had devoted any of that, like, energy to just being good at his job.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So, like, tax collector in Florida is that's like a real job.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just like, it's not like it is in other states. Like, they're like responsible for like ID cards and shit like that. Yep. And just like property evaluations and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's like a real position with like actual power.
In CK3, I usually assign my my heir to be my primary tax collector.
Nice.
It gives him valuable clerical experience and helps him pad his wallet a little bit because, especially, I know we diverge on this, but I like to give them some land within my realm, and then I just extort the shit out of them for fucking high taxes because they're my kid and I have that hook. Yeah. So I give them a good chunk of land, and then I just make them pay out the ass for it. So they can make a little bit of it back as my tax collector.
Yep.
That's just my little moves I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to keep my heirs close.
Yeah, you don't give them
keep
jobs.
Control of them, yeah.
I like to
I give them jobs, I just don't land them.
I land them.
I'll land the younger ones, but like the first two or whatever heirs I have, I like to keep them close. Otherwise, they get up to some weird depraved shit on their own, I like to make sure I can control what's going on. They're marrying, their kids, how their kids are getting educated and whatnot.
I like to try to ensure that my sons have ruling experience and that they are friends and loyal to one another. I don't want any nonsense after I go.
Oh, yeah.
They can be treacherous assholes to everyone else, but I like them to be... I want them to know what's up. And when I disinherit kids, I always give them a title immediately.
Yeah. Anyway, so... little CK3 talk. Happens every episode, folks. So anyway, Joel Greenberg, he was a political player in Seminole County, Florida, where he won the 2016 race for county tax collector. So just like Matt Gaetz, wins in 2016, off to work at 2017. So among many of his innovations, because folks, he was an innovator, he found the Seminole County, Florida tax collector office, clay and left it marble. He was an innovator. Among many of his innovations, he got himself and his deputy collectors the right to open carry guns into work.
As the tax collector, you never know.
Yep. Getting them exempt from state law prohibiting officials from carrying firearms while performing their duties, as they are considered, quote, revenue officers. So he's like, no, we're revenue officers. We should have guns. This would eventually be overturned by the state AG, obviously. But for a while, it was the thing. He also, immediately just, fired a bunch of the people in the tax collector office and replaced them with his friends, including, no shit, his entire wedding party. Just walks in the door, immediately fires a bunch of people, and just brings his moron meathead friends in.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah, it should be noted. Yeah, so like I said, tax collector, it's a real job. This is, a real thing that, they have functions to perform.
Right.
Joel Greenberg had also flaunted his connection to everybody's favorite Washington pervert, Roger Stone, also famous for his sexual proclivities.
Yeah.
A swinger, one of America's preeminent swingers, Roger Stone.
Apparently. Also, just a strange-looking fella.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got a Nixon tattoo. And also Matt Gaetz, including taking pictures with Gaetz at the White House. And, like, here's the thing with Joel Greenberg and Matt Gaetz. These dudes love a paper trail.
Yeah.
Like, these dudes are the selfie kings, dude. They are constantly taking selfies of themselves while, like, catastrophically fucked up. However, in June of 2020, old Joel here, Greenberg, he was arrested on stalking and child sex trafficking charges, and this produced evidence of a litany of other crimes. So he was indicted for stalking a political rival by pretending, this is like such a depraved story. So like he had like a challenger, like a primary, like an opponent, in 2020, and it was looking kind of bad for him, and he enjoyed his job. So he pretended to be a very concerned student in anonymous letters to the school, where the rival teacher worked, or where the rival worked as a teacher, and he alleged that the teacher had inappropriate contact with a student. He created fake fucking social media accounts made to look like the teacher and wrote posts making them appear to be a segregationist in favor of white supremacy and like anti-Semite and stuff. Greenberg himself had a history of Islamophobic posting, by the way, which was reported in Orlando Weekly in 2018. He was arrested because the dumbass, like, his fingerprints were found on the letter, alleging sexual misconduct by his opponent, and the feds were called. And this is what set off the cascade of criminal charges against Joel Greenberg. So Greenberg, who formerly owned an Orlando-based advertising company, rose to prominence after defeating a 3-decade incumbent in the primary for tax collector of Seminole County, who himself was like just like an inveterate fraudster. So it's fraudsters and hucksters all the way down here, folks.
Hucksters, dude.
Yeah. He would claim that, quote, people are sick of crony capitalism and with politicians using their offices for political gain, while his opponent was embroiled in a scandal due to real estate practices he and his family engaged in. So yeah, so Joel Greenberg, he would wear his tax collector badge around his neck like an undercover cop, or you know what I mean, like some kind of police official. Mm-hmm. Including, like, he would pull people over and accuse them of speeding while flashing his badge. At one point, he, like, attempted to sway a police officer into not giving him a ticket once by flashing his badge. It did not work. He is caught on body camera saying, "I'm just trying to stay off the front page of the damn newspaper. Tax collector gets ticket. This is the kind of political crap I have to deal with." Yeah, at one point, he, like, pulled a woman over, and he berates her for cutting him off and speeding. And, like, he's got his badge worn around his neck with, like, the chain. And he's got his gun on his hip, so he definitely looks like an undercover cop. But he's not. He's the tax collector. He gets reported over this, but he doesn't get into trouble because technically he didn't claim he was a cop, so he didn't really do anything illegal. He just, like, it was just obviously very unethical and, like, completely insane. So he was caught inappropriately funneling $3.5 million of taxpayer $3.5 million taxpayer dollars to his friends. He used public funds to buy body armor, weapons, ammunition, and a fucking drone.
This dude just like wanted to be Scarface so bad,
dude. Yeah, yeah, and a drone. He also used $90,000 to buy a server room for his cryptocurrency company, and then those servers overloaded the server. So he was the only one who had it was like a closet. He was the only one who had a key to it, and then like a fire started. And it cost like $7,000 in damages that were not covered in insurance because the insurance company was like, dude, this is your dumbasses. But like, we don't, like, no, we're not covering this. Your dumbass did this. So yeah, he was using public funds to buy cryptocurrency and crypto mining rigs and then selling the rigs for like personal profit. Like, the wire fraud amounted to like hundreds of thousands in taxpayer money for his personal crypto investments. He claimed $200,000 for investment in his office and then used that money to buy cryptocurrency for himself. He created a bank account in the agency's name, in which he was the sole signatory, which he used to divert money from the public agency, including falsifying checks. He fucking created a business called, I shit you not, Government Blockchain Systems LLC, according to the indictment. He used this to encrypt and migrate information from driver's licenses, property taxes, and concealed carry permits, among other functions, into blockchain technology. People could even pay their taxes with crypto, but apparently exactly 0 people did.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. He had his crypto mine locked in the administrative offices of the tax collector office, and he told employees not to ask questions about it. He also used the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program created to help small businesses during the pandemic in order to fund or revive some of his companies. He falsified that some of these now defunct companies had been bringing in over $1 million in revenue for the year leading up to February 2020. He was able to secure $430,000 in COVID-19 relief funds by bribing a federal official, according to court filings. And yeah, I mean, he's pled guilty to this. So, among the crimes he pled guilty to were identity theft and sex trafficking of a child. They found several fake IDs inside his home, which the Fed said he used his position of tax collector to access a state database in order to acquire personal information of people he was in a, quote, sugar daddy relationship with, including a minor between 14 and 17. He made the fake IDs in order to help facilitate his efforts to engage in commercial sex acts. That's right, he used government equipment to make fake IDs for underage girls involved in a sex trafficking ring. He also, made fake IDs for himself and stuff like that. At some point, an employee of the tax collector's branch in Lake Mary came into work one Monday. I love this fucking story. And found the alarm deactivated and driver's licenses strewn over a desk. And they're like, what the fuck happened here? So they reviewed the surveillance video and found that Greenberg had brought Matt Gaetz, confirmed by Greenberg, to the office over the weekend to, as he said, the person texted him like this. So so this employee looked at this surveillance video and was like, what the fuck is he doing? Dude showed up at 3 a.m. on Friday night or Saturday night or something like that, fucked up on ecstasy, all just you know what I mean, just mouth going crazy and shit. He was there with Matt Gaetz. Two of them had been partying. They were on E. They go to the fucking tax collector's office and they're just fucking around with IDs. It's unclear if they were trying to make fake IDs or if he was just showing Matt Gaetz how they could do it. But so this employee texts Joel Greenberg and asks him about it, and Joel Greenberg's just shows the congressman. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just here to show the Congressman Gaetz what our operation looked like. Did I leave something on? It's dude, yeah, you left shit all over the fucking place. You didn't put the alarm back on. So yeah, they had allegedly, been out partying on ecstasy and came and fucked up to make fake IDs. Maybe. But yeah, so days after Greenberg had first been indicted, a woman crashed her car into a tree right near his home early one morning. So he's already been arrested. He's already been indicted. He's out. Some woman crashes her car into a tree right near his home early one morning after sleeping with Greenberg. And he was paid on a mobile payment app, or she was paid on a mobile payment app, just right back up on that horse. Yeah, she crashed, left his house and was so fucked up that she just immediately crashed. So he also tracked his wife using her Snapchat account and showed up uninvited at his mother-in-law's home around 5 a.m. once, which prompted them to call the police. This was after his arrest already. Yeah. And thus a violation of his probation. But he was not rearrested for this event. So yeah, anyway, seems like this association with Joel Greenberg is what first got Matt Gaetz into some serious trouble.
This guy is such a fucking putz.
Dude, these dudes love to get fucked up and take a bunch of fucking drugs.
Yeah.
And have sex with a bunch of underage women.
Hell yeah, bro.
Or young women and pay them on fucking PayPal and Venmo.
Yep.
And Cash App.
For being my friend.
Yeah, and the best part was, too, there was a tweet from 2020 that has, unearthed since then, where somebody just tweeted, man, I just looked at Matt Gaetz's public Venmo account, and he apparently knows a lot of very young-looking women.
Yeah.
These are the least discreet pieces of shit on Earth. They're just, openly engaging in this shit. And yeah, man, they just love to get fucked up. And so now let's dive into the House Ethics Committee report that just came out. They were just two friends. They love to get fucked up. They love to party. They love to take ecstasy. Love to do coke. Love to have sex with women that were way too young for them. So it's also weird because Greenberg, all of this shit is Greenberg lived fucking 4 hours from Matt Gaetz, and they were constantly being seen out together, completely fucked up. They loved to take selfies with their eyes all glassy and pouring sweat and shit. And it was just like every fucking weekend, people are seeing him like, dude, why is Matt Gaetz fucking out here partying with this fucking tax collector 4 hours away from him, like every fucking weekend? So yeah, I mean, these dudes just love to get high as fucking shit, dude.
They're having a good time together, dude.
Yeah,
they
just
party. Bros. And you know what? You're my bro. I don't want anybody telling me I can't fucking hang out with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I mean,
it's wrong for people to stand in the way of this kind of, healthy masculine friendship.
Yeah. So yeah, they just like partied at like FSU college bars all the time, and like, yeah, these are just grown ass men still desperate to fuck young girls.
Oh, dude, yeah, just fucking aching for that fucking illegal pussy, dude. Aching for it, dude.
Yeah. All right, so the House Ethics Committee investigation into Matt Gaetz began in April of 2021, right when all of the allegations about him came out. So Gaetz resigned from the House on November 14th, 2024, after Trump announced his intention to nominate Gaetz for Attorney General of the United States. The Ethics Committee at that time had to cease their investigation, and Gaetz withdrew his AG nomination, but the House Committee decided to release their findings in the report anyways. So the House Ethics Committee summarized their findings as, in sum, the committee found substantial evidence of the following. From at least 2017 to 2020, Representative Gaetz regularly paid women for engaging in sexual activity with him. Mm-hmm. In 2017, Representative Gaetz engaged in sexual activity with a 17-year-old girl.
They'll get you for that.
Yeah. During the period 2017 to 2019, Representative Gaetz used or possessed illegal drugs, including cocaine and ecstasy, on multiple occasions.
Yeah, that one will get you too.
Representative Gaetz accepted gifts, including transportation and lodging, in connection with a 2018 trip to the Bahamas in excess of permissible amounts. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In 2018, Representative Gaetz arranged for his chief of staff to assist a woman with whom he engaged in sexual activity in obtaining a passport, falsely indicating to U.S. Department of State that she was a constituent. Mm. Representative Gaetz knowingly and willfully sought to impede and obstruct the committee's investigation of his conduct. Representative Gaetz has acted in a manner that reflects discreditably upon the House. I also just want to say, so for the sex trafficking things, like what they're looking at there basically is, obviously like the ethics committee found that like he almost assuredly had sex with an underage girl.
Sure.
That's statutory rape. Sex trafficking comes in when, if you're like transporting a minor over state lines for sex, then that's sex trafficking. They didn't find confirmed evidence of that. In general, honestly, this report wasn't as salacious as I was kind of hoping for. Seems like they maybe pulled a few punches here.
Yeah, they often do with these.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and obviously, like with the fucking corruption shit, like everybody in the House is corrupt. But like, you know what I mean? So
right, anytime you see one of them like wagging their fingers at another, it's like, all right, like you're also probably
all doing insider trading and like accepting bribes and shit. But anyway, so the report further says the committee did not find sufficient evidence to conclude that Representative Gaetz violated the federal sex trafficking statute. Although Representative Gaetz did cause the transportation of women across state lines for purposes of commercial sex, the committee did not find evidence that any of those women were under 18 at the time of travel, nor did the committee find sufficient evidence to conclude that the commercial sex acts were induced by force, fraud, or coercion.
Right.
Yeah, so as we know from the Joel Greenberg saga...
It's a little tepid.
Yeah. As we know from the Joel Greenberg saga, Gaetz was being investigated for paying for sex from a 17-year-old and paying her to travel with him. Cash payments, the use of drugs, online recruitment of women for sex, and the use of campaign funds to pay for travel for the woman were all being investigated. According to the report, the two used the sugar dating website seekingarrangement.com, which is now just seeking.com, to facilitate their usage of prostitution. So yeah, this seems to be like some kind of like sugar daddy website where like older dudes with money...
Oh, I know about this website. Yeah. I know people who have done it. To like varying degrees of normalcy and creepiness. Like,
yeah.
There are people that set up genuine...
Yeah.
Whatever. To me, it doesn't seem... I don't know if normal's the right word, but like... It's not an inherently fucked up thing for everyone.
Yeah. I have a friend that she would do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically an escort
Help
service.
one of my friends pay for college,
Yeah.
And with like normal people, like who are just kind of lonely.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a sugar daddy website. Yeah. So they would like use this a lot, and just two older men that love to have sex with women between the ages of 17 and 22, allegedly for Matt Gaetz. Confirmed for Joel Greenberg. He pled guilty. But yeah, so the two would generally split costs for the weekends, nights, rentals, and women. And they were not fucking discreet. Like they were like public fucking Venmo accounts. Like, first of all, I don't understand why does anybody have their fucking Venmo account sent to public? Like, you can just send it to private.
Yeah.
Like like mine's private. You can't fucking see shit that I do on there. I don't need people seeing when I'm paying rent or like shit like that, you know what I mean? Or
sending $400 to fucking underage girls to have sex with you, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. Confirmed for Greenberg. So yeah, at one point, Gaetz sent $400 to Greenberg with the note, "Hit up Victim A." And then Greenberg paid Victim A and one other woman payments totaling $400. Victim A being the 17-year-old girl, by the way. So the two used Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, and sometimes used multiple different accounts, pseudonymous accounts, or even Matt Gaetz's adopted son Nestor's PayPal account.
Fucking Nestor, dude.
Yep, I told you Nestor was coming back. Yeah, like apparently, like Matt Gaetz was using the boy he found was using his like PayPal account to pay for like sex with women. So the payments made to Greenberg. I'm not even gonna say. So the payments made to Greenberg specifically by Gaetz between 2018 to 2019 totals almost $4,000, and the payments to women 1 through 12 in the report between 2017 and 2019 totals a shocking $90,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this dude is like criminally horny, man. Like, I know he's got a lot of money, but
that's
dude,
like a year's income, dude.
Yeah,
and that's just what they're spending on fucking what's known of their fucking illegal proclivities.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. This only accounts for some of the activity, as other women refused to cooperate. Some of them claiming they feared retaliation. Gaetz also started using cash and fucking checks at certain points, and the checks had like memo lines like tuition reimbursement written. Dude, this one's a good one. You're gonna like this one.
Yeah.
So at one point, Gaetz claimed he was short on cash flow that week, and asked if the encounter could be, quote, more of a customer appreciation week.
Any chance you could toss me a freebie? I've spent so much money fucking you. I was hoping that this one could be almost like a real sexual encounter, you know?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, dude, could this be?
Could you just pretend you like me enough to fuck me?
Yeah. Yeah,
can you just customer appreciation?
Yeah, can you just like look me in the eyes and like say my name or something?
Here's the thing about customer appreciation weeks, and like for example, like free drinks. You know when I usually don't give them out
is when people ask
is
for
when
it.
People ask for them.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get one, it's because you were gonna get one anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you might get one. Mm-hmm. I might have given you a free drink or two.
Probably more than that. But
probably more than a few. And you never had to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
That's customer appreciation.
Exactly. Yeah, dude, that's so good. Oh my god,
it's really funny, dude.
Dude, I'm having a cash flow problem this week.
Do you guys do like any sort of promotion or anything like like a punch card where like
yeah
20th time is like sort of a customer appreciation?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dude, that's hysterical.
Please don't forget to punch the card now that we've had sex again. Yeah. So
do I get two punches if we do it twice in one session, or is that just once per payment? Okay, got it.
Okay, yeah. So Gaetz openly requested drugs and party favors in text with the woman interviewed by the HEC. So now Cameron can see this picture that I put in here, but I'll just have to read it to you all, and you'll have to use your imagination. But this is an exchange in the report. So these are messages between Joel Greenberg and 20-year-old female. Joel: if you have a friend that is down, perhaps all four of us can meet up later. Do you party at all? Girl: oh, that's perfect. I have a friend who introduced me to the website that I could bring. She's very pretty, great personality. I usually do $400 per meet. Does your friend use the website as well? And yes, I do like to go out sometimes. Joel: very cool. Yes, he understands the deal. Smiley face. What does your friend look like? $400 is not a problem. Are you both old enough to drink? Like, dude, if you're asking that question, man. Like, this is me saying this now. If you're asking that fucking question, man, she's too young for you, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the girl, so what do you have in mind for tonight? And now Joel just sends, like, this is such a good picture. It's a picture of Matt Gaetz taking a selfie. So it's not Matt Gaetz. It's not a selfie of Matt Gaetz. It is a picture from a third-person perspective.
You edited that in. That's the actual photo that he sent.
Yeah. So it is a picture of... It is a picture from a third party, somebody taking a picture of Matt Gaetz taking a selfie with a different person. That person is blurred out in this picture. So that's the picture the fucking Joel chooses to send, is a picture somebody took of Matt Gaetz taking a selfie of himself. And it just says, my friend. And Gaetz looks like a fucking doofus in this. By the way, he always looks like a doofus, but he's got, like, full doofus face in this one. And the girl just responds, ooh, my friend thinks he's really cute. So then Joel responds, well, he's down here only for the day. We work hard and play hard. Have you ever tried Molly? God, these guys are such fucking losers. So Gaetz still follows this woman on social media and paid her more than $2,000 over the years. And the report is really just filled with tons of examples of Matt Gaetz hiring escorts and taking ecstasy and coke with them at parties, oftentimes with Joel Greenberg. Matt Gaetz also had a girlfriend at this time that he met through Seeking. And, like, so, like, they're called, like, she's called his girlfriend. Matt Gaetz calls her a girlfriend. They're, like, dating for, like, 2 years.
She's like his Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
She's his procurer.
Basically, yeah.
His honeypot.
Yeah. So, like, they have sex, but he pays her. So, like, he's paying for everything for her in these 2 years. So it's basically just, like, a permanent escort at this point. But then she also helps him find other girls. Yeah. And so, like, so they're, like, not exclusive. But Matt Gaetz refers to her as his girlfriend. And she's always being paid for her time. But there are some good tidbits, though. Like, the woman also discussed instances where, so these are the women who were interviewed, discussed instances where Representative Gaetz would try to convince them to have sex with him or Mr. Greenberg. He would make me feel bad about not having sex with him or Joel Greenberg. And he would say, why don't you want to have sex with me? Or, Mr. Greenberg looks very sad over there. Make him happy.
Mr. Greenberg. Mr. Greenberg. Very sad over there. Perhaps you could satisfy his sadness with your supple body.
Yo.
That's how I imagine all these perverts and freaks speak.
Yeah, me too. So some of the women that say after a while they felt pressured or violated, and that accompanying Gaetz anywhere felt like a task. So, like, it definitely starts to take a dark turn. There was also victim A, who I said earlier, who was a 17-year-old minor at the time of her alleged encounter with Greenberg and Gaetz. And all evidence suggests Gaetz paid for sex with her at least twice, including once in front of other attendees of the party.
That's so gross, dude.
She was
fucking in, like, the middle of a party.
She was in high school at the time. And she claimed to be on ecstasy and that Gaetz was using cocaine while they did this. Yeah. So, I mean, that's statutory rape. Yep. That's statutory rape.
That's nasty.
So overall, the House Ethics Committee report finds that there is not sufficient evidence that Gaetz engaged in sex trafficking, but that he engaged in the usage of prostitution and drugs, and that he violated Florida's statute rape law, as well as that he violated the House gift rule in accepting bribes via private planes and travel costs. They also found that, in general, he engaged in corruption and tried to impede the investigation.
I feel like that's like a good way to describe both these guys, like just like general corruption, dude. Like,
yeah,
they're just like generally, like generally, these dudes are like they're just doing corruption.
Yeah,
corruption of minors, political corruption, just personally kind of corrupt. Yep.
Now, so there were also the very great payments made by Gaetz, which were in like a article I think from like ABC News. So, you know, these are some of the memos that Matt Gaetz was putting into these, like, Venmo payments and shit.
Card deductible gift. Love you.
Yeah, reimbursement, tickets, refreshments. $400 for refreshments.
$400 for cartridges. What the fuck is cartridges? I mean, printer ink is pretty expensive, actually. Joy! With an exclamation mark.
Also, not how you spell cartridges, which is funny. It's spelled it wrong.
It's with an I.
It's IDG, not AG. Travel. Hi. Joy! Dude, joy. $420. Joy. Yep, so here are some other ones, too. He's got a Venmo payment here saying, being my friend. Another one that's...
Awesome.
Yeah, being awesome. Here, reimbursement. There's one that looks like a little card. One that's a present. One just because. Another one, flight plus extra for you. And yeah. Anyway, so, I guess we finally have to bid adieu to Matt Gaetz as he now enters the realm of talk show grifter. I know, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of old Matty, but
No, he'll be around in some fucking awesome capacity.
he will never hold public office again, I'm guessing.
Yeah, his days are done for that.
Oh.
He's going to have to find a way.
Mm-hmm.
He might start selling, like, tinctures and ointments. And,
Yeah.
I can see
What is it that Gwyneth Paltrow sells? That stuff that you... like crystals that you put in your vagina.
She does have a crystal dildo that she says helps like align your chakras or whatever. Mm-hmm. Which I mean, I've never tried it, so I don't. Yeah. I actually can't give you like a personal review of the product or its efficacy, but I suspect that it doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that's probably
my suspicion is that it's not.
It doesn't do shit.
Yeah, it's a fake product. Yeah. Probably expensive.
Anyway, yep. So that's Matt Gaetz. That's the Matt Gaetz saga. Like I said, there's more threads that you can pull in the Rob Levinson story and whatnot. But this is an episode about Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Rip to a real one.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yep. All right, well, folks, if you enjoyed this episode and you would like to contribute in some small way to help keep the podcast going,
the glorious cause.
Yeah, you can go to patreon.com/leftunread, and you can sign up there for a small monthly amount. Help keep the podcast help keep the podcast going. If you do sign up and you're on an Apple product, please do not use the Patreon app on your Apple product. Please just open the browser and go to www.com. I always say that. www.patreon.com/leftunread.
www.com.
Yeah. And just type that in. Just go to patreon.com/leftunread in your browser. Otherwise, Apple will give you an extra 30% surcharge on top of what you give to us every payment. They just think they're entitled to that, and I don't think they are.
Patreon takes enough as it is,
Yeah, they take like 5%. Apple wants 30%.
You guys can give. You can just just Venmo us, dude.
Yeah,
just Venmo us.
Yeah, flight plus extra for you
plus
and the
extra
memo
for being
awesome. My friend.
Smiley face.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can do that. If you can't do that, you can support us in other ways. You can rate and review us on your podcast app of choice. That helps us get boosted in the algorithm, helps us find new ears. You can also tell people about us. You can tell the House Ethics Committee that's investigating you for your myriad crimes and perversions. You can tell your friend that you like to get fucked up and do ecstasy with and commit various different types of fraud on the American taxpayers. You can tell that person about us. Tell anybody. Just tell them, hey, Left on Red's good and you should listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would tell them that.
Yeah, I would. Yep. And so thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, on another exciting edition
of Left on Red. Peace.
So, everybody in my game is drug addicts. Chill, baby. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Chill. Take a lot of shit, forgot what happened. I ain't gon' lie, I gotta have it. Swear to God, you can't be on my status. Swear to God. Start the day off with a pint. Chill. I'ma show you how to live life. Chill. Take a lot of drugs, don't think twice. Wow. I do this every day and all night. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Chill. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Chill. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Drug addicts. ballin' since I was 11. Ooh, 11. I've been popping pills since I was 7. I was 7. Told my pastor I don't do confessions. Hell no. Cause I pop a lot of Molly for my breakfast. Ooh, Molly. I ain't never listened to nobody. Nope. In a courthouse off of ecstasy. Goddamn. And your baby mama laying next to me. Huh? After she just sucked me, I just told her ass to leave. Scared out. Everybody round me like them oxys. Yeah. I was too leaned out to dry the rock. Huh? Made her ass wait 2 hours in the lock. God, I can't go outside cause I see paparazzi. Chill. Taking a pill, now I'm feeling better. Ooh, X. Gucci gang, yeah, I'm a trendsetter. Gucci gang. Bustin' up on you, bitch, wiped it off with my sweater. Ooh. I'm a drug addict, I'm richer than my professor. Man, fuck school. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Ooh, chill. Take a lot of shit, forgot what happened. I ain't gon' lie, I gotta have it. Swear to God, you can't be on my status. I swear to God. Start the day off with a pint. Chill. I'ma show you how to live life. Chill. Ooh. Take a lot of drugs, don't think twice. Wow. I do this every day and all night. Ooh, ooh. Whole gang full of drug addicts. Chill. Whole gang chill. Drug addicts. Ooh, ooh. Chill. Whole gang full of drug